Now I request Dr. D. Sajid Babu for presentation on land acquisition. Land acquisition and land bank, Kerala Land Bank. Dr. Sajid Babu is an agriculturist by profession. He holds PhD degree in agronomy and he is postgraduate in so many subjects like commerce, labor management, arts, business administration, etc. And first special officer for Kerala State Land Bank and nodal officer for State IT Cell also. Now he is the Chief Minister. He has already won the Chief Minister's Innovation Award for the project Kerala State Land Bank for the year 2011. We are ready to listen his lecture. Please.
Respected delegates and dear organizers, I know very well that it's not the right time to talk about a project which is so unfamiliar to you. Maybe this is not directly connected with the subject which you have already dealt in the morning and in the post-lunch session, but this will help because you will be knowing the government of India has already announced the land policy for the states to adopt. And in that, a major component is the land bank concept, wherein the entire lands in the custody of the government has to be inventarized, protected, and used for the public at large. That is the basic concept of the land bank project. Coming to the particular project, this is the award which we have won in March 2013. Actually, this award was of 2011, and you can see me on the background in front. Naturally, my commissioner is there, Mrs. Jo Sureja is. Then on the left side, you can see Dr. Niveda Piharan. She was actually she was the additional chief secretary when I initiated this particular project. She is from Calcutta. And the next person you may be knowing, Mr. K. Muralidharan. He was. He's the son of former Chief Minister K. Karunakaran, you may be knowing him. And the other person is Mr. Umman Chandi, the present Chief Minister. And the person who is on the right is the Best MB Award winner, Mr. Rajiv. And I am there in the background. Before going to the project in detail, and Chakramani sir is there because the CIPS, the Center for Innovation Public System, they have been supporting us like anything because I'm getting so many offers from so many governments for starting this particular land bank project in their states. And it is just because of CIPS, they have given us a good platform to disseminate our knowledge in other states, other parts of the country as well. So before going to this details of the project, actually this project is for, the presentation is for nearly 2 hours, but I am cutting short because it is not the right time to have a lecture for 2 hours. Before going, starting my presentation, I'll tell you about a real story, because already you are flooded with a lot of ideas from engineers and the technical guys. So I'll tell you a story, actually a real story which happened in 2006 in the state of Kerala. You may be knowing there are many scientific institutions in India. One of the premier scientific institutions of India. They have excellent track record in the scientific field. They came to Kerala in 2006. 2006 for starting a new organization. An institute in one of the places called Punmudi. It is a hilly resort place in Trivandrum. They came in search of 50 acres of land for setting up an institute under their name, under the particular institute's name. Actually, before approaching the government for the land, they in fact approached a private party for acquiring nearly 50 acres of land. The scheme was something like this. That particular private party was owning nearly 630 acres of land, 630 acres of plantation land in one of the hilly tracts in Kerala, in Trivandrum. And they already struck a deal with him for purchasing this 50 acres of land. And the party was so keen to give that land to one of the government institutions, just because of the fact that India's 630 acres was declared as a forest land by the Forest Department under the Ecologically Fragile Land Act of 2001. So if that 50 acres of land is sold to a central government institution, naturally he will get the remaining 580 acres of land. So that was the action plan by the party was owning 630 acres, and there was already a deal struck. It was a something like 600 crore worth deal. So they just wanted a certificate from the government of Kerala saying that there is no free land available in Trivandrum for this particular institute. So they were so keen to get a certificate from us saying that we don't have any land. So Mr. V.S. Achyutanand was the then Chief Minister of Kerala. They approached our Chief Minister, then Chief Minister. They gave a letter saying that no, we want 50 acres of land in that particular spot, because they very well know that we are not having, government of Kerala is not owning any land at that particular site. So they were so particular that they wanted a land there, some 50 acres of land. They went and gave a letter to then Chief Minister, Mr. V.S. Achyutanand. He marked, naturally, in the administration you may be knowing, the letter was given to the Chief Minister marked it to the Revenue Minister marked it to the Revenue Principal Secretary, she was the Principal Secretary then she marked it to the Trivandrum District Collector, then District Collector marked it to the Tahsildar concerned, and Tahsildar marked it to the Village Officer. That is the Revenue Administration in Kerala. So the Village Officer, we have a register called the Porambok Register, or the Government Land Register. You may be having the same in your municipalities and all. And when the village officer searched that Porambok Register, which is a handwritten document, she saw some 8 survey numbers are missing without any entries. And there were only numbers and there were no entries on the right side. You may be knowing, see, if the government lands are available in some area, definitely the details of the land will not be there. That is the peculiarity of, if it is a private land, definitely everything will be there. When if it is a government land, nothing will be there. Mostly it will be attacked by the termites or some ink, there will be ink pouring on that. So naturally, like in any other state in India, Kerala too was facing this particular problem. So when she checked, some 8 survey numbers were there, but on the right side, no details were available. So naturally, she did. She said there are no government lands available in this site for starting up this particular institute. And she gave the report to the Tahsildar concerned, and Tahsildar, he doesn't have anything to look at it. To overwrite something, you should have some information about that. He was not having any information on that. So he also endorsed that there is no government land. Collector endorsed, the Commissioner endorsed, and Principal Secretary endorsed, and finally Minister endorsed, and they were very happy that they got that money. So something fishy was happening there, and some fellows, some media person said there are some it is going to be a bad deal. So suddenly I was undergoing. I am in the Kerala State Civil Service, and after joining State Civil Service, we have to undergo 14 months training, and I was under the training. I was given the task for finding out government land in that particular site for starting, giving 50 acres of land to this particular institute. So I was given the task with some 6 persons. So we went on a mission and we found out 1,068 acres of government land at that particular site. 1,068 acres of government land. And we gave 30 acres to that particular institute, and that big, scam was, we could stop that scam. And now they are happily enjoying that land, and they have started the institute, and that issue, we could settle it. If that is happening now, it will not happen in Kerala, because see, you're from Calcutta, and if you're an entrepreneur, you need not come to Kerala for searching government lands over there. You can just log on to our website from here. You can find a suitable place, and you can just give an application from there for starting an industry or a business establishment over there. So that is the concept of land bank. In short, I'll go to the website first before starting anything. This is our website. Yes. See, this is our website. This is open to public and it is the public domain. This is it. Tomorrow you may be having a class on election of encroachment, and just now you saw a video where they're showing something like the illegal encroachments can be removed.
What is the website? I didn't see.
Yeah, this is it. It is www.kslb.kerala.
It is your language.
No, this downside is English. It's bilingual. www.kslb, Kerala State Land Bank, kslb.kerala.gov.in. Yeah, this is in English. So before starting, you may be knowing there are big issue of encroachment of government land in Kerala, especially after 2008. You may be knowing Kerala is one of the most densely states in India, and each square feet of land it costs more than 800-900 rupees in Kerala. It is such a costly state, and the land values are very, very high, and each bit of government land is so precious for us. So what we have done is, before creating this sort of a land bank, we have amended our law. There is a Kerala Land Conservancy Act of 1957. And as per that act, previously the provision was something like if a person encroaches a government land, he need to pay just 200 rupees and he can remain there for any period of time. So that was the law. We amended that in 2009 and we introduced strong punishment like he can be put to jail for 5 years and a fine can up to 2 lakhs can be charged to that particular person if he is encroaching the government land. But how we can say that government land is encroached? It's not possible to see. For charging an encroachment, there should be a clear title for the government with adequate documents. Like, see, if you are alleging that a person is encroaching the government land, you should have the sketch and the full details of the government land. Then only you can say that you have encroached our land. Without that, you just cannot charge a person. So our primary idea was to create something like a set of textual data and a spatial data for creating this land bank. Here you can see this says everything. As per the Kerala Land Conservancy Act of 2009 amended, all lands mentioned in this website are under the right, control and ownership of Government of Kerala. Any individual or organization who trespasses or occupies these lands or a bid for the same, that is the most important clause to catch the officials in the state. If somebody is not doing their duty, they will be booked under this. One who abides for the same will be liable to be imprisoned for a period of not less than 3 years and may be imposed with a penalty of not less than 50,000. And maximum penalty is 2 lakhs and maximum imprisonment is 5 years. So if a government official is booked under this, definitely he is going to lose his job. And if any encroachment is detected, then please inform this toll-free number. This is an IVRS number. Morning somebody was telling there is this is also an IVRS number, and continuously it will be recorded. It will be recorded, and every minute it will be coming to my table, and I'll get an email alert as well. If somebody is calling and saying that there is an encroachment in the government land, I will get an alert. And the first step we are going to do is we file an FIR. FIR with the village officer files an FIR and we will file it to the police. So we are doing excellent work with this.
Government land is properly wanted.
Yeah. 1 minute. See, we are entering the website.
So vast land demarcated.
1 minute. Let me show. See, if there is an encroachment detected in, say, a land, I'll log on to this website. Then go to click here. All the districts will appear here. You take any of the districts here. I'm taking Alleppey, where we have completed it fully. See, if you click Alleppey, all the taluks in Alleppey will come over here. Then you click any of the taluks here. All the villages under that will come here. If you click any of the village here, the government land under land bank will appear in that. And if you click here, all the details of the land bank will appear here. See here, this is a unique code, it's a 12-digit code which is uniquely coded for each bit of government land. And it is unique for everything. Before Government of India started thinking of UID concept, we have already indices for all the government lands in Kerala. And the entire details of the particular piece of land will come here, and even the value. And here it is in Malayalam, because for the easy understanding of the village officers in Kerala, it's in Malayalam. There we can find even how many coconuts are there, how many mango trees are there, and their details, like what is there on the east, what is there on the south, and their details are there, and even photograph is there. And see, if somebody encroaches, there should be a sketch. There should be a sketch for the land where the encroached portion should be marked in red. Then only, he can be punished. Otherwise, we will not be in the court. In the court of law, they will ask where is your sketch and where is the marked portion with a reddish coloration. So we have made a provision for that as well. Because it is coming from that USB modem, it is a bit slow. So this is it. This is a scanned image actually, but this is not the perfect one. I'll show another one. We have digitized so many. This is a scanned one that anyone can do. That's not a big thing. I'll show one more thing. This is the digitized one. See, we have digitized nearly 17,000 parcels of government land. Nearly 17,000 parcels of government land. That means it's worth more than 50,000 crores. And see, this is the portion. I don't know, people who are sitting on the bank side may be in a position to see. This is the government land. This is the total land parcel under this particular field number, that is 301/417. And this is the government land. This is the marked portion, is the government land. And if some encroachment is detected, the village officer can easily mark this portion and submit the FIR before the police. So with this we have done for nearly 1,25,000 land hectares of acres of land. And you may be knowing it's a big landmass in Kerala. And for our efforts, we have won the CM's Innovation Award. And the entire thing, so far we have not given any replies under the RTA, because everything about the project is there. The entire thing, whatever RTA application we get, you may be knowing Kerala is one of the most informed states, and there are plenty of RTAs for all the things. And whatever RTA I get, I just give this website address, and they need to go to the website and see. Even the funds and utilization activities so far and progress report. That's the most important thing, and nobody can blame us that we are sitting quiet and we are not doing the work. See, every month, whatever work we have done, it will come in the website. It's a bit slow. See this thing. We have 27,017 parcels of government land in the land bank now. It measures nearly 73,104.71.25 hectares. Into 2.47 is the acres. That many number of acres of land. And what are the expenditure for that particular month, and on what we have spent. And it is something like a bank. How much land is debited and how much land is credited, everything is there. So basically this is our project. you can leisurely go into this particular website and see, how how best things are, what are best big things and best things in that particular website. And if you're finding some difficult, whether it's a glossary, you can go to that glossary and you can check. And the entire content I have developed, I have done everything. And this is purely and through the internal resource mobilization. We don't, like other states, we don't have any outsourcing in Kerala. Whatever we do, it is purely through internal resource mobilization. For that, what I have done is, after joining as the nodal officer for the state IT cell of revenue, I created an inventory of all the revenue staff who are well versed in software, hardware, and all. And I have a pool of officers, and I pick them from the field. And this particular website is developed by one of our village officers, and it is not by any of the private agencies or not by any technical expert. One of our village officers developed this particular software, and it is with us. And I am ready to share with you at free of cost if you are ready to venture this. It is purely through internal supervision. We don't have any consultant. I am the only consultant. I am the only developer, and I know what I want. So I am not an expert in IT. Even though I have so many degrees, I am not an expert in IT. I don't know. I have only working knowledge in computer, but I know what I want. So I make them do it for me. And this is just one other project, and we have so many other projects.
Local government is very intensely worried about this issue. You please contact our government and
Definitely, now I am a consultant for the government of Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and today I am here. And everyone is contacting me, even Dadar, Nagar Haveli, they are keen to start this. So many governments are approaching us, and we offer it free of cost. Even training, anything, you can just come to my office. And my office, I'll show you how it looks like. Even my office, you can see from here. And as part of this, what we have done is, we have introduced a militant force, really, a force, just to throw the encroachers out. Really, they are a very strong team of retired army men. I'll show them. There are 15 members, and they are doing excellent job. Because where the system fails, only with the force you can. And you may be knowing, somebody was complaining like, is highly politicized. If you have will, definitely you can do wonders. Even though it is highly politicized, the system is highly politicized. I'll show that. Activities so far from beginning. See, this is it's a good thing. See, if you search this now, you can also plan like what I have to do first, what I have to do second. The progress report is there. How this particular project has derived. So you can go to this and you can plan things.
theoretically it is not, practically it is not possible in our.
No. See, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. See,
give me your card.
Definitely. See, this is my office. This is the day when we started our formal data entry, some 4 years back. This is my office, and this is my office. See, it is not having the look of a government office, right? It looks like a private office. So I was so keen to give a red painting here like this, and from 10 to 5 there will be music in my office. And they are constantly under vigil. There are 2 webcams here. I can sit in my room and see what they are doing. So there was no protest, there is no politics. So you may be knowing, politicized organizations are more in Kerala than in West Bengal. Still nobody objected, not even a single person objected to my news. Nobody. Because if you are keen and if you have clarity in your idea, nobody is going to protest. And if you adopt a modern concept, selective transparency in governance. Selective transparency, you can be transparent but not full. You can be selective. That's my advice. You can be selectively transparent. What you tell your minister need not be told to your colleague. And what you are telling to your colleague need not be told to the public. So it should be selectively transparent in governing the governance. So this is the system. I'll come to the presentation. Land, you may be knowing what is land. Land for an administrator, land means it is a solid ground on earth, primarily classified based on tenure as the private land and the public land. You may be knowing the private land and public land. And private land refers to the portion of the land on which there is absolute freehold right, and which is conveyable by a deed under the Nations Act of 1908. And the lands which are all other lands, let me make it clear, all other lands which are not freely conveyable is government land or public land. That should go to your mind. So if a person is not having a conveyable right or a freehold right on a piece of land, the rest is government land. It may be there in your act, just go and read. It is in our act. It is as per section 4 of the Kerala Land Conservancy Act. Whatever land is there, other than the freehold land, it is government land. Definitely, I do believe that that provision may be there in your act. So you can very well act on that. And this was the situation. You were telling, no, it's not possible in Calcutta or in West Bengal. It is possible. I can bet. Because this was the situation in Kerala. You see, almost all our land records were highly inaccessible, highly unreliable. Like the village officer, they just make some correction and they'll write something else. And it was highly and it was highly tampered. I told you, no, the basic record is, we call it BTR. That is a basic tax record register. That register, mainly there are 3 copies. And they destroy all these 3 copies. So what we have done is we traced out it from the archives. So if you're so keen to do it, no, you will get 100 ideas to trace it out. So it's possible. And underexploited resources. You may be knowing, see, some rich and affluent are enjoying government lands at a very low rate. At the same time, the people who are marginalized, they have been tortured like anything by the government. There is no system to protect the poor and the underprivileged. We had a club. It's called Golf Club of Trivandrum. You just go to the website and just type Golf Club of Trivandrum. The entire case history will come there. It is a 25.38 acres of prime government land worth more than 2,500 crores. It was being enjoyed by some 637 influential officials who are the IAS, who are the IPS, and only the rich and the ugly, I would say. They were enjoying 25.38 acres of prime government land at the heart of the city of Trivandrum, just by paying 439 rupees to the government. And with this effort now, we could resume it back. It is with government custody now. And whatever government land transaction we make now, it will appear on the site. That is what I just showed you. What debit is there, what credit is there, it will come in the site. So it is open to the public. They can question. See, what happened now? I'll tell you a true incident. I think it's recorded. Okay, no problem. I'm not telling the names. So what happened now? Just before the fall of the previous government, on the previous day of resignation of the previous government, the revenue minister's principal private secretary, I'm not naming him, he called me to his room and he asked me, now I came to know, what is land bank. You dash us, dash I am not saying, from back. So that was his response to land bank. So it was a big credit for me because I could do that for the people of Kerala, because they were trying to give a portion of government land to one of the politically sponsored organization, and suddenly there was a case in the High Court, and they took all the data from this particular land bank website, and they went to the High Court, and there is a case against X so and so. So I am not naming anyone. So that is the history of land bank, and the words which he used, I cannot say here. So you told, no, the politics is so big. It's not that big. If you are
High Court is so effective that verdict so early. Our High Court is, case is going long. It is unending.
I don't know.
I
I don't know. Listen, that I cannot assure. But if you are contesting your case with a perfect data of the government land, definitely you are going to win. And that is our experience. And this is the land bank. It is an attempt to systematically inventarize. It is systematically to inventarize all public lands professionally, to professionally manage the same in future in order to assure rational use of the public lands with the wholehearted support from the public in the most transparent manner. This is our motto. So this is the motto of land bank. Everything is there. Whatever we want to do and whatever we have been doing, everything is there in this particular vision statement. And these are our objectives. Inventarization of public land. We might have seen already. The inventarization means collecting the data and putting it in the website. That is the inventarization process. There is a textual inventarization, that is, whatever things you have seen, the code, the unique number code, then the survey number, extent, all those things will come under the textual data, and the spatial data, that is the detached data. The thing which you have seen now, that is a detached image. It's not a scanned image. There is a lot of difference between a scanned image and a detached image. Detached image you can work at, by sitting in your office you can work, you can cut, you can make it to pieces, and you can do whatever you like. And that is being generated by our revenue staff. The people who are sitting there in my office, they are from the cadre of sweepers to the Tahsildar cadre. We have perfect socialists in my office, in the land bank, and we are equal. I have sweepers. Some of the territories are sweepers actually. Some are Tahsildars. So we have all the section. I value their brain, not their post. So we have created that spatial data entry and the textual data entry. And our second objective is to generate more income from the public lands. We are in the process of giving BOT. You may be knowing, I have seen so many government offices over here in a highly dilapidated condition. And it's so dirty. Some of your offices in and around Calcutta. I had a stall in the morning. Now, why don't you think of doing some sort of a BOT? Like we are doing it. We give prime lands on BOT basis, and a floor space will be given to the government department for starting the office, and the rest will be transferred entirely to the government after 20 years, after 30 years. So it's called build, operate and transfer methodology in the government land, that in the prime commercial locations. So see, if you are having some good land in the prime location of Kolkata, now why to keep it in a dilapidated condition? Your PWD is not going to invest anything on that, even for painting. Let the private person do it. There can be, you can think of a PPP model or a PPP model. And we have developed a lease alert system, wherein, see, you may be knowing, if a land is given on lease to a person, naturally, if it is recorded, it will be written in some paper. And if the paper is stored, and if the records are, destroyed, definitely that land will go to the person after some time. That is the situation in entire India. What we have done is, we have developed a system called lease alert system, wherein, see, you are given a lease for 1 year from today. Today is the 29th 2013. See, you have taken a land on lease in Kerala for 1 year. Next July 15th, our Tahsildar, our district collector, our Tahsildar, our RDO, our ADM, our village officer of that particular village will get an SMS alert saying that the land leased out to this particular individual is going to expire in 45 days. Issue notice. And that notice will go from my office, just click of the button. I'll show you how we are doing it. Understood?
That situation exists 25 years ago.
SMS alert.
25 years lease, after occupying the land seems to be landowner.
Okay.
That is the problem.
Yeah, so to stop that, you can adopt this methodology. It's a very efficient one. Because SMS alert will be given to the village officer, the Tahsildar concerned, the RDO, that is the revenue divisional officer, the additional district magistrate, and the district magistrate. That means no one can say that I was unaware. And the fax will go from my office saying that issue the notice. No, the Tahsildar just need to sign and give. Otherwise, he will say, sir, I have taken this much a lot of time for preparing this notice, and it's very difficult to prepare. He need not even prepare the notice. Prepare notice will go from my office. He just need to sign and give. That is the lease alert system we have developed, and surveillance and protection of public land. That is our third objective. For that, we have developed genders. You may be knowing canes, genders, like the forest department used to put around their boundary. We have created genders around our lands. Wherever the lands are measuring more than 50 cents, it is very difficult to put pakka concrete wall around that. So we put genders at the junction points. Then we have created the Public Land Protection Force, that is the PLPF, with the retired army men, and they are doing excellent job in Munnar. You may be knowing Munnar is a very sensitive area, and there are rampant encroachments. It was happening. Now it has stopped to the minimum. Stopped to the maximum, and nobody is encroaching government lands in the Munnar region just because of this force. They are acting as a deterrent force, and I'll show them. They are so hefty. I'll show them. And we have created an IVR toll-free number 1800-425-5255, and we are getting a number of calls in that number saying that, see, this particular person has encroached government land, and we are getting good number of calls from the general public saying that, sir, you have missed out some land, and there are some lands lying here. It is a government land. And we are updating the data. That is we are in the. I told you it is with the public support. We are getting lot many government lands. And in Kerala there is a peculiar psychology is there. We are more interested in somebody else's affairs than our own affairs. So we look at the other person now, whether he is encroaching government land or not. Suddenly there will be a call to my this number, and we act on that. And this is our modus operandi. You are engineers, no? So you must know. Every bit of land, even this particular point, it can be geo-reference, like there is a latitude and there is a longitude for this point. And if it is fixed, definitely it is very easy to find out how far he is sitting from this particular point. We are adopting that technology in Kerala. And this is my office. And this is my, this is the government land in which my office is, the public office. It is written public office. That is my office, where it is located. And the lander which we are showing it there is called Northings and Eastings. If you just type those numbers in the Google Earth map, the satellite will come and stand over this particular office. This Northings and Eastings. You can go to this website. It's called Geo-reference sketch. We are doing it with satellite technology. This is our lease alert system, and if I click here, send SMS, it will go as an SMS. Print notice, it will go as a that notice I have not kept here. It will go as a notice. The Tahsildar just need to sign that. No other job. So this particular piece of land, this is the land which I was mentioning, 25.63 acres of government land, which was under the custody of some influential in the government. We have resumed it back. This is the Public and Protection Force. See how ferocious they are. They are retired army men, and we selected after rigorous selection. They are less than 55 years age, between 35 and 55. This is the agendas we have created for putting around. See the size of agenda. There is a person standing here. See? It is that big. Because if you're placing small stones around government lands, they just throw it out. This weighs more than 1 ton. So it's not that easy to destroy. And it is pakka concrete. This is the status. Just I have showed you. And this is another occasion. This I have received for. We are doing so many other innovative initiatives in the government, like in the Department of Revenue. You may be knowing the e-district project. wherein the citizen-centric services are given online with digital signature. And I am heading that project as well. We are giving 23 different kinds of certificates which are being issued by the government of Department of Revenue, Government of Kerala, purely on the online basis. The person need not go to the village office for taking the certificate. He can just go to the Akshaya Center, pay 20 rupees there. He will get an SMS alert about his application number. He can just go to the website, download the right with a digitally signed this one. We have already given 88 lakh digitally signed certificates. See, our department was considered one of the most lethargic department with a lot of corruption. Even I paid when I was a student and trying for some government. I paid price for getting a certificate. Now I could stop that. Now nobody is going to the village office for getting a certificate. I got this award for that. This is the certificate I made from the Chief Minister. Then we are doing one more land governance initiative. You may be knowing that people are coming to you for property tax, paying property tax, right? What we have done is, see, so if a khata changes, like if a person is buying a land or selling a land, naturally again the person needs to come to your office or the village office. That we have stopped. We have stopped in 17 villages. If somebody wants to sell a land, he just need to go to the Akshaya Center near, pay 20 rupees there. He will get a certificate, a signed certificate. With that, he can go to the registration office. He can register the property and he can go back to his house and sleep. Automatically, the mutation will happen. Automatically, it will happen. And no, even I paid so much of money for getting my khata mutated in my name. That I have stopped. I have a dream. Like I have paid bribe, but my sons and grandsons should not pay bribe to my department. So I have realized that dream.
No litigation was there?
No litigation. See, that is when if you are strong in your laws, nobody will. Now, before doing anything, you should do a lot of groundwork. Like, see, as per the Registration Act, Section 21, the registration officer need not check the veracity of the document presented before him. He just need to check whether the stamp duty is paid. That is Section 21 of the Registration Act says. But we have another law, it's called Transfer Register Rules of 1966. That is with our department. Unfortunately, the registration department is not the revenue department in Kerala. It is with some other minister, some other political party, and it is some other this thing. But what I could do is, we have amended our transfer register rules, saying that only if the transfer registry form comes as online, then only the mutation will happen. If it comes in paper form, we will not mutate. I have amended that rule. So they were forced to do it online. And there were hundreds of litigations in the Supreme High Court. High Court said nothing doing because they have amended the rule. High Court has the power to what? See the rule whether it is bypassed or not. We have not bypassed the rule. We have amended the rule to make it happen. And we are the only state in India maybe doing it. That too again under purely in force. Force you may be doing? Force. That is pure free and open source software platform. We don't believe Bill Gates. We don't believe anyone. And what we have done is, see, before I joined, we were doing with a software called Bureha. That particular thing was being done with a software called Bureha. It was in the Microsoft platform. So we have 1,634 villages. That means for loading Microsoft, this Bureha, I need to spend 4,000 rupees for the Microsoft Office. Then every year I need to spend 1,100 for that. So what I did instead, I have created a new software in the free software platform. It's called Release Kerala software. Now we are free. We are not dependent on the Microsoft. And even that I can share with you if you want. Because it's in my hand. I am the supreme authority for it. I can share with you. I need not ask any of the consultants because I am the consultant.
Your total land survey based on serious goods?
I didn't give you.
Your land survey, which is called document, how it is formed?
No, actually, there was a survey which was carried out in 1908. 1908, it was surveyed, and even then the surveys were so difficult to manage. So the Maharaja of Travancore, he stopped survey in 1911. saying that, here onwards there won't be any survey. Only government land will be surveyed. So when the popular government came in 1957 in Kerala, they started the resurvey process again. But in 1964, they came up with a rule saying that within 3 years, the entire entire land in Kerala will be surveyed. But even after 69 years, only 767 out of 1,634 villages have been surveyed. And even wherever it is surveyed, there are a lot of litigation. So we stopped resurvey process now. So if you want to have a sketch, apply to us, we will survey it for you. With the government money, we won't survey any land. If you want your land, we will get it is surveyed on demand basis. And it's a land only, and that also you can simulate in your municipality. For the first time in the history of any state, we have developed a project called Zero Landless Citizen Kerala 2015 project. And on September 7th, UP Chairperson Sonia Gandhi will be coming to our state for inaugurating that project. I have devised that particular project. I don't know whether it is available. See, in that, for the first time in the history, we have created a database of 233,232 landless families for giving them 3 cents of land. I'll show you that, how we have done it. Even that software also we have created. And if somebody is interested to simulate that project in your municipality, we are ready to share with you. 1 minute, I'll show you that. Just go to this particular website, www.zerolandless.kerala.gov.in. This is the mission mode project we started last year. I have devised this particular project. See, those are the aims of this particular project: to create an error-free statewide database of eligible landless citizens by August 2012. Then to make Kerala a state with 0 landless citizens by 2015. That is the project. You can go to this website and see the details. And your good name? What's your good name? Asim. Okay. See, if you want to check whether a person is there in Kerala with Asim, who is a landless, you can just type here Asim. Three Asims are there. Out of 233,232 families, there are 3 Asims who are landless. And this is not the entire data. We have a big database on the back end. This is in the public domain, but we cannot show everything to everyone because of some secrecy issues. There are 3 Asims in Kerala. This again we have developed, and if somebody is interested to do this particular project in your municipality, you can contact us. We will help you.
I don't understand that. What is your basics are there? Basic. On the basis of which you correct or not your land survey.
I'll tell you the history of survey. What we have done is, in 1908 we conducted a cadastral survey. Like first a village will be surveyed at the outer boundary through a perambulation survey. Then each bit of land will be surveyed. That is the old system survey using the theodolite and say.
You obey that or not?
No, we have amended our survey manual in 2008. We have a new survey manual for the modern survey.
That is your best.
Yeah. We have, see, that's why I'm telling you. See, if you want to make any form of amendment in your system, you study your laws well. Then make the law. I'll tell you. See, one of the persons. I'm not naming that person. We are following FIFO in our system. So FIFO you may be doing first in, first out. You cannot bypass the person who applied first to give a service to the third person. If you want to give a service to the third person, you have to satisfy the first and second. That we are following. But when that particular order was signed, the person who was signing that order, he was not aware, or she was not aware. That is why you endorse selective transparency. You say it's possible, but at the time of signing that particular order, that particular person who signed that order was not aware this was having this much of implications.
So you are giving title, official title for you are certifying the government certifying.
Yeah, we are giving.
For that, I think central government we have also in Andhra Pradesh also. Bhubar the pilot was started. You know?
Yeah, I know.
For that, the central government amendment is required. That is why they have dropped it.
No. It's not like that.
Like you officially suppose if you register my on my name and land, will be the guarantee that.
No. I tell you, there is a land titling bill of 2006 that gives indefeasible title to a person, and this is not that. This is ROR. It's Bureha we call Bureha. And it is some sort of a possession certificate saying that as per revenue records, you are owning this much of land.
But suppose one person also comes also.
No, he won't get it because there is a common land database created online. Like if you are creating, if you are making a document, automatically that will get reflected in the common land database.
That I understand. Technically it's okay. You can do
but officially this is correct. I'll tell you, because land is not in the concurrent list or in the central list, it is in the state list. So we are supposed to do it. Go to the constitution. It is in the state list. Land is in the state list.
The old date has to be changed. New. Old date, suppose. 50 years ago, the date was
I tell you, see, we create a document, there is an old document called BTR, Basic Tax Register. Whatever changes have happened in that, automatically happens now. See, if you are registering a document, automatically that BTR entry will get updated online without seeing face to face. See, the issue of speed money and bribe comes now when you are seeing the person directly. If you are not seeing the person, and I tell you, see, if there is a hartal, what will happen? No, in Bengal, I can presume that nothing is going to work in government. But there was a hartal 2 weeks back in Kerala. Even that day, our village officer was giving certificates sitting in house. See, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Like you want 26-3. When I was awarded with this particular award, we recognized 3 officers. One officer for giving a nativity certificate in 23 seconds. Even America cannot do it. Just 23 seconds. The person went to the Akshaya Center, applied, and while turning back, he got the certificate. It is onlinely recorded. So you cannot bluff. You cannot change these things. So just 23 seconds, we issued a nativity certificate. Yeah, with digital signature. We have provided digital signature to all the 1,634 village officers. We have given them laptops. We have given them data cards. So they happily sit in house, approve everything, and one person was given an award for issuing a nativity certificate in 23 seconds, and we thought it is a stray incident. So we took out the entire data, and there were 11 officers who gave certificate in less than 1 minute. 11 officers. So we awarded that person who issued in 23 seconds, and we awarded another person who issued nearly 7,000 certificates after 5 and up to 12 o'clock in the night. And we awarded another person who issued certificate from night 12 o'clock to morning 10 o'clock. When the office starts, between that period, some 8,300 certificates. We awarded all those persons. And it's purely online. And even if there is a hartal now, our people will be happy to sit in house and issue certificates. So if you are having a chance to come to Kerala, just come down and I will show you everything. I am in charge of all these things.
Global city. Actually, there is many much unauthorized occupier. Though it's government land, they know it very well. They occupy, they grab the land immediately.
When I I initiated this particular concept of putting all these details in the website, the most important question which was asked by then minister was, see, now people are encroaching government land and with minimum data. And if you are putting everything in the website, see, everyone will come to know that this many government land and everyone will encroach.
So one small doubt. If I come to a registration office in your state, and if I register a land on my name, what are the steps they will take?
No, you just need to go to the Akshaya Center, take a ROR, that is Bureha, from the Akshaya Center by paying just 20 rupees. Go to the sub-registrar office, make your document and go back and sleep. Automatically everything will be muted in your name. You know, I would have done it. See, my project is something like by 2015, without going to any office, by sitting in your house and using your mobile phone, you should transact the land. Actually, land is a commodity, it should be transacted like that. So what we have done is, I got a government permission to collect basic tax and five forms of taxes: the building tax, basic tax, luxury tax, plantation tax, and RR through M-Governance platform. Like I already into that project. Within few weeks, I will be launching it in six villages in Kerala, 3 in Pathanamthitta and 3 in Kottayam. In that, on April 2nd every year, they will get an SMS alert. The person who is holding a land in Kerala, he will get an SMS alert in those villages, saying that, see, your basic tax use this much, are you ready to pay? You just need to type a number that we have already found out, that number, and click yes. Automatically that amount will be debited from your SB account and will be credited to our revenue account. I got the clearance for that, and you will get the tax receipt through bank, through your email. You can directly take it from your house, from the village office, from the Akshaya Center, or 5 modes are there. I got a clearance for that. See, life is going to be very easy in Kerala.
Here also
SMS is there.
But the ownership of land is very difficult.
No, that's why. See, wherever that land is mutated, only those persons will get it. That is the advantage of having a good common land database at your backend. If you have you can do wonders with that. I have that. 573 villages out of 1,634. And I have a plan to do more, but my first phase is 573 villages. Now I would have done it last year itself because I was going to do my own course last year. For years was given, but no money was given to me. Just because I got stuck up. Otherwise I would have no time.
How you are doing the survey, the aerial survey?
No, it is called WGS 84. World Geodetic 84. WGS 84 is called. And we put geo-control points in selectively located, like 30 points in a village. And if you have a parcel of land, within half an hour you can make a sketch of it.
Accuracy?
It's 10%. It's 10%. Because in the conventional form of survey, the 2% is the, error can be accommodated. But here it is 10%. Unless and until the entire solar system changes.
The survey is okay. It is technically 100% right. But title.
Title is clear.
Title is the most.
No, I'll tell you. As per our laws, I don't know what is the laws here.
Title law is by central government has to.
Transfer Property Act. It is not Transfer Property Act. Doesn't clear it. Don't challenge me now. I am well within laws.
We don't know law.
No, as per Transfer Property Act or actually 3 laws. 3 laws. Give actually a person like the Transfer of Property Act, the Registration Act, and the Transfer Transit Act. And it was with the different states. For Kerala, if a person wants to have a freehold land with indefeasible title, there should be 3 things. The first thing is he should be in possession of the land. Second one is he should have a document under the Registration Act of 1908. And it should be mutated in his name as per transfer registry rules in our revenue records. If those 3 things are there, we presume that he is a paramount title holder of that particular land. And we are not following the land titling bill. Even if it is approved, land titling bill of 2006. Now, I attended that original conference of that in Delhi, represented by state. So, but see, Government of India, they came up with a model bill. Because land is being a state subject, they cannot impose on the states to do it. It's a model act only. Government of India cannot impose.
They are one land demanding person 2 or 3. Land is one. All are.
That's why, no.
Valued.
That's why I'm saying, see, registration people, as per the Registration Act, Section 21, they are same. The registration officer do not have any sort of obligation to follow the land records. He has the obligation just to see whether the land value and stamp value is matched. For that, no, that is what I'm saying. You change your transfer registrations with the revenue department.
No,
Definitely he can be jailed.
you have changed that this thing.
Yeah, we have changed. I have amended. Otherwise, you just cannot do anything. And what we have done, last year we filed cases against 3 sub-register officers for, tampering with the revenue record for under this act. Because now they help the private parties to grab government land. So we book cases against 3 sub-register officers, and they are very much threatened now. Very much threatened.
One more thing, you are telling payment, if they give some reply, they will yes.
Yeah.
That he will be deducted from his account.
Yeah.
How this process?
No, actually, we have already struck a deal with State Bank of Tamil and Federal Bank. And, they have developed the entire backend for us, free of cost, and it is T+1. They will hold, unlike in Axis Bank, I think it is T+3, no?
What is T?
T means, see, after collecting the money, they can hold it for 3 days, I think.
No, it's not. It is NEFT means.
No, not NEFT, the other one.
That is online banking. They will hold for 1 day.
Here also, no? When I came there, they said it is T+1. I was there in under the MeSeva project, for studying the MeSeva project.
Okay.
They said it is T+3. But here it is T+1. That is, they can hold for just 1 day, and they will create the entire backend for us. You can also try that.
My doubt is, it is an online payment.
No, not online. It is M-governance, mobile governance.
Payment gateway. Through payment gateway,
No, there are 5.
you have integrated.
No, not payment gateway. It is M-governance platform. See, we will be giving the citizens a unique number. It's called unique Tandapur number. UENE code. Tandapur means the Katha number in North India. So that number will be unique for that particular person. He just need to type that and the click yes, automatically from the bank account will be debited and will be credited to our account.
How is bank account will be? Is it mapped in your data?
Yeah, it is mapped. It's mapped.
You have already data.
No, 6 villages we have done it. 6 villages.
No, the bank account number of that.
Yeah, person. We will collect. We have collected it. There is a pro forma signed by the citizen. Yeah.
They have given the consent.
Yeah, they have given the consent.
No, otherwise also from mobile.
Yeah, mobile. That is more than sufficient.
But
You can also try that.
You should have his account number with you.
Yeah.
Account number and IFSC code you should have.
Yeah. That we have collected his mobile number and alternate mobile number. So if somebody is interested, please contact me.
I'm coming to Kerala on 22nd.
Yeah, please come down.
All are interested in new contest.
But is also easy na implementation is not that easy. And the thing is that your luck should be the government, citizens' luck should be there. Sabka luck
No, actually we have an advantage, like the entire thing we have created under the Internal Resource Organization, and I have a software that I cannot share with you. That is a Harmos software. Harmos. From sitting in my room, I can see how many computers in my department are working, which are not working. Everything I can see. It's called Harmos software, hardware management system. That software I developed with NIC for 1.5 lakhs. They charge me 1.5, so I cannot give that free of cost to you.
Government.
No. That I have to take permission. Other things I need not take any permission from anyone.
NIC.
No, NIC, but they can. We have an agreement with them. They won't share our website. So many things we have done after 2008. See, up to 2008, we have nearly 53 crores on IT in revenue department. Not even a single service was given to any of the citizens.
So all your database in the NIC is maintaining?
No. This entire land bank database is with us, and the server is in my room, in that particular room. NIC is not at all involved in any of these things. Which one?
Disaster recovery site. Disaster recovery.
Disaster. See, don't ask me in technical things.
Well,
I have.
If your room has got fire and got.
Yeah. See, for that we have made all the provisions. The sensors are there, and some gas. This thing is there. I'm not a technical person. Don't ask me things.
My suggestion is,
Ah.
if it was
No, every day we are taking the backup.
no. What you have to do is, if the earthquake comes, total
every-
tsunami comes, something we should maintain a disaster recovery site. Somewhere else of your city.
Okay.
City, NIC has that facility. If they give free of cost.
Okay.
Just you have to just talk to them and then.
No, see, there's a question of ego in NIC. That is why we don't depend on the NIC. NIC, whatever we ask, they will say 101 things that we cannot satisfy, and they'll ask for more money. See, these things are.
Request, otherwise government they will give. Otherwise, this site is there. That center is there. They will give. And they have to ask.
Definitely, I'll try. Every day we are taking the backup. That is the only thing we are doing.
You should maintain DRC because you are doing now all live transactions.
Right.
That is practice, IT practice. Otherwise, somebody will come and.
No, I'll tell you.
You are doing all this now. Implementation are doing. Somebody will do something wrong happens.
23 times my website has been attacked.
What is your camera now? You will be punished.
Okay. Don't threaten me like that.
No, it is important because
Okay.
I will be support with your activities. No.
Okay.
I will see what has been done and all. I will do something and I will.
No, I'll tell you, 23 times our website has been hacked, tried to be hacked.
Yeah.
But nothing happened. Some 10-15 times by Iranian boys. I don't know who are they. Iranian boys, they tried
So
to
you do,
hack our site.
as per IT Act, you do whatever standard requirement. You do it after that, you can say I have taken all the.
Definitely. It's a good advice. It's a good piece of advice. Because I have been threatened now.
Really it is correct because you are in a this thing.
No, I'll tell you. See, we told no, it's not possible here. See, we have spent nearly 53 crores on IT in the revenue department for giving service to the citizen. Not even a single service was given up to November 2008. I joined in November 2008 as deputy collector for this post. Under the nodal officer, and everything happened after that. So, see, it's my own effort. I have a very small team. In the IT, I have only 2 assistants, and in the land bank, I got only 16 persons. So, just with 18 persons, I'm doing all these things. So, it's not a not doable. See, thing is something like this. This is my motto. See, if there is a will, there are 100 ways to do it. It's not way, it's one way, it's 100 ways.
IT security getting done by some agency.
It is being done by Set Kerala. They are doing it.
Some recommendations.
Yeah.
Just
No, that we are following.
You record it all.
Okay. Set Kerala is doing it continuously.
So you will be safe. Even then, it has happened.
So, any more doubts? So, keep in touch. This is my number. That's my official number, 85476 10001. I am there on the Facebook. 0854761 10001. That is my official number.
We have given you the form for FIDA for validate census.